Good morning, JHS. Today is Tuesday, November 28th, 2017. It is an 8A. We have 27 days until Christmas. I'm Tim.
And I'm Jamie.
And you're watching the Duke Daily. The sophomore class will be hosting their next bowling fundraiser at Village Lanes on December 10th from 12 p.m. until 3 p.m. The cost is $15 for unlimited bowling during those times and includes shoe rental. You do not have to be a sophomore to come out and bowl with us. If anyone has any questions, they can come see Miss Scott in room D26.
And now for a Hopper video.
So today on the Harbor TV, we have DJ Rashida. You are a DJ, a visual artist, you're a mom, and you're an incredible human being. And so thank you so much for taking some time out to come hang out with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So you've worked with artists like Prince and CeeLo, and who all have you gotten the opportunity to work with?
Pharrell, Khalees.
So you've worked with a pretty heavy lineup. And so you've worked with some pretty incredible people. But before we get into how you started working with the Pharrells and the Princes of the world, talk to me about like who you were in high school.
High school was a really pivotal time for me. I guess it probably is for a lot of youngsters. I was born here in LA, and I was here when I was real little. And then I went to middle school in Albuquerque, and then there was some crazy stuff happening, and my dad picked me up and moved me to Atlanta when I was 13 going on 14. And it was literal culture shock for me. The South was just so different, and it was so black and white, and I just wasn't used to that. And it was interesting because out of that, I ended up finding my tribe, and it was kind of all the misfits and the artists. And yeah, I found a community there, and for sure, just the club scenes there, it was so varied, you know. I would be at ska parties, I would be at raves, I'd be at hip hop parties, I'd be at dance hall parties. So I don't know if I would even be a DJ if I hadn't grown up there.
So how do you transition from being a bedroom DJ audience of one to having an opportunity to go and play with someone as big as Prince?
I was literally playing in the room next to where he was doing his private parties. And yeah, one day I just got a call saying he had asked me to play one of his parties. And, you know, I think I did like a few laps around my room. I was so thrilled. It's really strange. I had already kind of had it in my mind that if he had a DJ, that I was going to be it. I didn't know if he even had a DJ or what that meant. But I started telling people that, you know, I was going to be his DJ because it just made sense. Mm-hmm. Everybody was telling me, you know, I was not a top 40 DJ. I played what I wanted to. I still do. And everybody said, listen, if you want to start doing the big Hollywood gigs, you know, the private parties, you have to start playing top 40. Like, you just have to. And I refused, and you know, I was a music snob about it. And sure enough, at House of Blues, and God bless them also for like digging my style and letting me do what I wanted to do. But at that time, I was really into like just funk and you know, Sly and JB, you know, James Brown. And so that's what I was playing at the time. Right. And of course, you know, now I know that's, you know, everything that Prince came from and loves. And so it was perfect. And, you know, everybody had been telling me to play what was on the radio. And I don't know if I had been doing that, would I have caught his ear?
So there's a lesson there in being true to yourself.
Yeah,
being true to like who you actually are. And so for a lot of kids, you know, you had to play for free. You had to work on your craft, and you had to like really put yourself out there and stay true to yourself. I think a lot of kids have this idea in their head of, I'm going to do this someday. For you, it was, I'm going to be Prince's DJ. And you had no idea what it was going to take to get there, but you got there. And so what's the value in like working hard, even though it's for free, or being true to yourself, even when everyone tells you you have to look a different way to make it?
Many people have the impression that sometimes success comes overnight, and sometimes it even appears like that. You know, you'll see somebody and you've never heard anything about them, and all of a sudden they're everywhere, and you're like, this just happened overnight, right? How did this happen overnight? But for sure, behind every person that you think just popped up out of nowhere, there was, you know, more than likely years leading up to that. And for me, I didn't even necessarily, you know, DJing was not I thought I was going to be a visual artist. That's what I went to school for. And DJing was literally just a hobby. But once I really started doing it, then I made the conscious decision that, okay, this is what I'm going to do for a living. And from there, you know, it is when hard work meets opportunity.
Kids today have access to so many people. They follow their heroes. They watch lifestyles on their phone. I mean, kids can see everything. And when we grew up, it was a little bit different. We had to create some of this stuff for ourselves, and we didn't know if there was a career path there or not. But that's not the world young people live in today. And there's this idea that when you turn your passion into your profession, or your passion becomes your job, like you made it, it's easy, you know, it doesn't feel like work, like you never work a day in your life if you do what you love, and you see all the t-shirts, but we know that's not true. So talk a little bit about, even though you love it and it's your passion, it's still a job.
Well, and that's just it right there. It's a job. And as with any job, you know, it's not always fun. And many times through my career, I've had to kind of compromise or make sacrifices.
If you could sit down with 16, 17-year-old you, like what
Oh my
advice
God.
would you give yourself about the world and how to keep going?
Oh boy, I would just tell myself that all the stuff that I dream and fantasize about, that not only is it possible and real and totally gonna happen, but just not to be so hard on myself in the meantime, you know, during the journey. I tell that to myself now, you know. Yeah, just it's a journey, and again, like the failures, don't let the failures stop you, because you know, on one hand with DJing, there's been so many, you know, there's been missteps and I've just gotten back up and kept going. But there's been other things, other passions I have where I can see now that I let a failure or sometimes they're not even really failures.
Right,
You know, you
right.
just, that's what you think it is in your mind.
Sure.
But I let those stop me from seeing where something could have blossomed or flowered, or seeing where it could have gone. Yeah, just don't be so hard on yourself.
I think that's a good
And
word.
yeah, and everything that you fantasize and dream about it's going to happen. So,
And it's possible.
and it's possible. Oh my God, it's
No matter
totally
what
possible. Yeah.
town you live in, no matter where you come from,
Oh, yeah.
like, it is possible. Well, thank you so much for your time. And
Thank
thanks for
you.
hanging with us on the set today of the Harbor TV. And if people want to follow you, where can they go?
So my handle is at DJ Rashida on everything, Twitter, Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And now, here's the weather with Sam.
Thank you, Jamie. Starting off for today, with a high of 62 and low of 42, with sunny skies, 7-mile-per-hour wind, and a 10% chance of rain. Tomorrow, with a high of 65 and a low of 40, with sunny skies, 5-mile-per-hour wind, and a 10% chance of rain. And finally, Thursday, with a high of 60 and a low of 41, with sunny skies, 5-mile-per-hour wind, and a 10% chance of rain. Thank you. Now back to the desk.
Thank you, Sam. Now for today's hot plate will be chicken parmesan with a roll, broccoli, and fresh veggie cup, variety of fruit and milk.
That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay fresh, GHS.